You're listening to the Experiencing God Day by Day podcast, brought to you by Blackaby Ministries International.
May 7th. Go up and possess it. Deuteronomy 1, verse 21. See, the Lord your God has set the land before you. Go up and take possession of it as Yahweh, the God of your fathers, has told you. Do not be afraid or discouraged. One of the paradoxes of the Christian life is that God's gifts often require labor on our part. God brought the Israelites to the promised land and told them that he was going to give it to them. Numbers 13, verse 2. The gift of the promised land sounded great to the Israelites until they realized that with the gift came battles against giants and fortified cities. Perhaps they assumed God was going to obliterate the inhabitants of the land before they entered. Ideally, for the Israelites, they could then have entered a vacant land with houses and cities already built and ready to inhabit. Instead, God said they would have to fight for it. They would not have to fight in their own strength, however. God would be present to fight for them. God would bring down the walls of cities, give them strategies to defeat their enemies, and empower their warriors to fight. The Israelites would have a divine advantage over anyone they fought, but they would still have to fight. It would be wonderful if, when we became Christians, God would fill our minds with a complete knowledge of the Bible and with the Bible verses already memorized. It would be easy if God would instill in us a delight in spending hours in prayer each day and a fearless desire to share our faith with others. But God doesn't relate to us that way. Instead, he gives us the free gift of his salvation and then tells us to work out our salvation in fear and trembling. Philippians 2, verses 12. Are you discouraged because the Christian life is more difficult and challenging than you expected? Don't be. God's gifts to you are perfect because through them, God makes you perfect as well. Matthew 5, verse 48, James 1, verse 17.
This podcast is based on the book Experiencing God Day by Day by Henry and Richard Blackaby, published by B&H Publishing Group, music by Mark Brown.